Hello, water signs. Welcome back to the channel. My name's Amber. If this is your first time here. Cancer Pisces Scorpio. That is the signs of the elements of water. And that is who the reading is for. Your way off reading, August 2026. So what that means is yes, it could be about being way far off, but more than likely it's about somebody's perception being off about you, somebody being way off about you or you them. Okay, we'll find out. Some of the elements this month, it's really been about combining both. So we'll see what comes out for the water signs. Um, so right off the bat here, we've got take therefore no thought for tomorrow. For tomorrow shall take thought for the things itself. Meaning, don't worry about tomorrow. Just worry about right now. Why that's here, no clue. A lot of times, most of the time, I would say 99.9% of the time, I get a message right there, but I didn't. Somebody worrying about tomorrow. Why? Or what are you worried about? And are you way off about it? This is the gods and the titans, and I will be reading you the message of whatever comes out for you. I see it right there. You got, see? Then all this makes perfect sense already, a connection to this. It's a pooch, fear. So see, so there's something that you're worried about, fearful of about tomorrow. And considering that this is a way off reading, we're going to find out why you're way off, specifically what it's about, hopefully. Queen of the Moon for the supporting energy. I know this is going to help as well, and then we'll read from the book. See what advice comes out for you. The masculine. That's just basically telling us that, well, nothing specific except you could either be the masculine that's worried about tomorrow, or you are the feminine that's worried about your masculine tomorrow. Maybe you're fearful that they're not being faithful. Maybe you're the masculine and you're just fearful about your future and your family's future. It can go a million different ways. Okay, take it how it applies for you specifically, if at all. Oh, where's the book? There it is. Okay, so this guy should be at the front somewhere. Here he is. Excuse me. Examine your fears. What is there to be afraid of? You are being asked to confront what frightens you. Face your fears. Why? Well, the first thing that comes to me is maybe whatever it is that you're afraid of, you're way off about it. There's no reason to be afraid of it. Now, generally, when somebody says the first thing that comes to them, you expect something secondly. But uh, the only other thing I can touch on is if you are worried about your person being unfaithful, you're way off. And that's good news. The main spread is the Enchanted Tarot. It's a very big deck, so bear with me here. I'm just getting used to it. I mean, I've had it for a long time, but I don't use it all the time. And it's hard to shuffle because it's big. For Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, August 2026, what do they need to know? Three of Swords. This is heartbreak. Your heart. You, maybe if you are feeling that you your person's being unfaithful, that would break your heart. But if they know you feel that way, that's breaking their heart as well. Okay. Um, Facing your fear, heartbreak has to do with fear. It usually stems from trauma. If you're faced or confronted with something that you're afraid of, literally, like maybe you're afraid of something in nature, or maybe you're, afraid of thunderstorms, maybe it could be anything, okay? Once that fear takes over, heartbreak, and heartbreak right away, you're crying, okay? It kind of disables you. The fear takes over. That's why that's here. Let's keep going for the water signs of cups. So again, now this what's coming out is about love, about your feelings, about love beginning, but maybe it's not really that the person's being unfaithful, they're just not they're not committing. So this one cup is just one cup, it's not two yet. This can go a lot of different ways. Again, take it how it might apply for you. I'm going to try and keep it so that I'm not narrowing in on one scenario here. Six of Swords. This is peace of mind. This is getting out of turbulent water. Like henceforth, realizing that you were way off, and there's no reason to be afraid of that or think that way anymore. Glad to see this. Bottom of the deck. Two of Wands. The decision is yours to make. You're the only one that can face your fears. You're the only one that can decide not to worry about something or not to think that way anymore. Okay, we're clarifying for you with Tarot of a Moon Garden. I'll show you the box. Ooh, there's the box. Tarot of a Moon Garden. The box is all beat up. I've had this deck for a long time, so it's been in and out of that box many times. Let's see what comes out for the water signs. Clarify. They're way off reading. August 2026. For their highest good, as always. Three of Swords, please. 7 of Wands. This is protection mode, defense mode, under the Three of Swords. See, which is obvious when I just explained that when fear takes over, it immobilizes you, it makes you cry, and it just, it brings you down to a crumbling, bumbling, crying, scared fool, right? I'm calling you a fool, but I'm just saying it's like you feel like an idiot afterwards. You know what I mean? Like I've been there. Trust me, I can describe it. Not that I'm describing you. I'm just describing what it's like because I've been there. Okay. And you're in protection mode. If you're fearful, then you automatically are. Obviously, you want to protect yourself, right? And it's upsetting. It's scary. It's gonna vary a little bit here and there depending on what your fear is, right? Ace of Hearts. Just the Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups, please. Page of Swords. It's something that you saw or experienced or had said to you or done to you when you were younger, and it's like, right? You see how that's a dragonfly flying by? It's just a dragonfly. His little tail is not really a sword. but it might be something like that. Like maybe you're afraid of bugs. Maybe it's specifically dragonflies. Maybe, you know what I mean? Like the way they fly around. Who knows? But you can see how he's trying to get it with his sword. So it's something that, again, it's usually stems from trauma. And I can sit here until I'm white-haired, listing the things that could happen to somebody and traumatize them at a young age. Six of Swords, please. The water sign. Clarify why the Six of Swords is here. Give me work. Six of Swords, please. Like I said, it's the peace of mind card. It's that I don't have to feel that way anymore. I'm glad I was wrong. It's one of those things where you're like, I hope I'm wrong, you know, in the one scenario. And even in the other scenario, it doesn't matter what scenario it is, the fear, whatever it is you're afraid of, you hope you're wrong. And as it turns out, this clarifying the Six of Swords, which is the peace of mind card, getting out of that turbulent water, meaning not feeling emotionally that way anymore and feeling better and feeling happy again. Nice. I'm sure you're as happy to see that as I am. Bottom of the deck. Because when you face your fears, okay, you're facing the truth. You could have been, it's maybe thinking back to that split second is all it takes for everything to shift. And you would carry fear about something. And it could have been from somebody else. Maybe somebody else was afraid of it, and you were so young that you just, oh, okay, we're afraid of that, right? And we run and we scream and then we cry because it's traumatic. You know what I mean? So when you face your fear, you face the truth that it really never was anything to be afraid of to begin with. But sometimes these fears turn into, again, talking from experience, fears turn into phobias. And that's where and that's what I feel this is. It's not even, it's past fear, okay? It's phobia. But, when you, maybe not just that one card, but you've got the masculine here, right? Kind of holding on here for dear life there. And you've got where we started. Somebody trying to calm themselves down, go somewhere peaceful, and try not to worry about tomorrow. And again, there could be a bajillion different reasons why that's going to be different for everybody. But it's facing the truth about your fears, about yourself, and why you're afraid. So your advice is coming from the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot. So for the water signs, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, their advice, please, on their way off reading. Clarify fear and the masculine, please. Queen of Wands. This is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This could be who raised you, okay, to teach you to be that way. This could be who you are worried about in the future. Maybe this is your significant other and, you know, they're used to a certain way of life and you want to keep things that way. Maybe you're worried about your job. Maybe you're worried about, inflation and keeping up and maybe, it could be anything. But this Queen of Wands, I just feel is important to this masculine, and whether it's again who raised you or who you are with now, that you are feel responsible for their future. Seven of Wands under the Three of Swords, please. Advice for the water signs. Devil reversed. That's the whole point, right? Is to, get, if you're fearful from, blah, 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 if you're fearful of it, then it's like, this is what you're afraid of and you want to get rid of it. You want to reverse it. You want it to go away. You want to get away from it, whatever it is, by defending yourself in whatever way you do that. It reverses that devil. And that devil could be, again, a kabillion different things. Page of Swords under the Ace of Hearts. It's here twice. Three of Swords. Your heart got broken. Okay, the tragedy happened, the trauma hit when you were very young. The Sun card under the Six of Swords, please. Sun card, please. Overwhelmed emotionally. You might feel like you owe people apologies for thinking that way. If you thought somebody was uh, stringing you along or maybe not being faithful, uh, yada, 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 and you were way off. Okay. You might feel it's overwhelming to find out that you were wrong, even though you were hoping you were wrong. It's like, well, you want to be able to follow your instincts, but at the same time, how, what am I supposed to choose? I have to choose one thing at a time. And if it's the wrong thing, I've hurt somebody's feelings or I've set myself back in some way. So again, I can go on and on here all day, but it becomes clear. And again, remember I said how it's like embarrassment? When you're embarrassed, that's overwhelming emotionally to be embarrassed. I can tell you that right now. You can tell people are embarrassed, they go red, beet red. So even if they're trying to hide it, they can't. And that makes it even more overwhelming. So, like maybe when you face your fears and you face the truth about yourself or your fears or whatever, again, it's overwhelming. It's just overwhelming emotionally, thinking, well, what does this person think of me? And would that have scared the shit out of me? What's under theirs? I don't even know what that is. And maybe that was your phobia to begin with. And you know what I mean? And you can blah 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 blah. And now other things that are there that like stuff like this, like that maybe, used to freak you out and you're like, yeah, no, I've learned some things, There's nothing to be afraid of, especially if you're awakening and you realize the truth of this whole shit show we call life, the game of life. Um, it's all about control. Um, don't get me started. Anyway, bottom of the deck, Chariot. Moving forward. The Chariot, the Emperor, the masculine drives the chariot, right? There's a whole another thing here about, new vehicles and all that kind of stuff. And that could be a fear. Maybe you need a new vehicle and you don't want to get a new one because, there's so much, we'll call it technology, there and abouts where that's concerned that you just feel. this is, again, we'll just start at the beginning. It's very overwhelming. And you can be way off the other way too, where you didn't realize that said control things were as advanced and as in your face as they are now, where you don't know what to do because you feel like you don't have a choice. So I'm really picking up a lot off of this. Four of Swords behind that, Two of Cups behind that. It could be just moving forward on that relationship if you were connecting with someone new, not really sure where their head's at, not really sure whether they're going to commit or not or take things to the next level. I think they are. So, this has been a packed, jam full message so far. We're going to close out with messages from the guides for Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, August 2026. Thank you for this message. Please give them the message they need to take away and close this energy out safely. Set your intentions, which makes perfect sense, guys. If you gotta face your fears, it's something you gotta work up to. You're not just gonna do it. You're gonna decide you're gonna do it, and then you're gonna plan and, build up your courage as much as you can and set your intentions that you're gonna get this done. So I wish you luck, and I will see you again sometime. Excuse me, later this month. I will be linking the elements. So, your sign, whatever you are, if you're a Cancer, if you're a Pisces or a Scorpio, whatever sign you are, will be linked with another elemental sign. And if you're not new here, then you've seen these linking the elements before. So I will see you later on in the month for that. Until I do, take care of yourself. Good luck with all this, and bye for now.